What's going on, everyone? Just out here kind of on my walk the neighborhood routine, and thought I'd stop for a second at this park. Saw a swing set, thought, man, it's time to go back to being a kid, back to the days when I would spend hours on the swing set in the backyard. Anyway, some add-on ideas for walk the street. I'm out kind of exploring different areas of Louisville today, and just as an example, an add-on to last time, I found this. Check this out. Look how thick that blade of grass is. I don't know what it is, but I find it interesting, especially because I've got little critters at home that like to eat stuff like this. So I'm going to look it up, figure out the genus and species, kind of investigate this, maybe add this to my little plant toolkit. So I saw this while I was out and about. Check this guy out. Look at this giant seed pod. Boom. That thing's like about a foot in length and all. I don't know what it is, but it's a big seed pod. So again, I'm gonna look it up online when I get home after I've been out walking the street and see what it is. Maybe there's some nutritional value for critters, either poultry or micro livestock or something. Maybe it's got high protein, I don't know, but I'm gonna look it up. Kind of cool. So that's just some examples of walk the street. But two additional ideas that I had today while walk the street was number one, I see a lot of like little storage sheds and storage houses and whatnot around here, and my thought is, if you've got a home of stuff that you need to put in storage or a room or whatever, maybe instead of those little storage units, maybe you've got a neighbor that has this extra shed or larger building or something that they're not using, that you might be able to negotiate some sort of, I don't know, either barter or pay them a little bit to use it if they're not using it, that sort of thing. But in other words, maybe you don't need to go to those storage places, those facilities that have units that are $100, $200, $300 a month. Maybe you've got a neighbor who's just not using their garage or their shed or something, and you could negotiate a deal. So thinking along those lines, the second point I wanted to make today is you can't, maybe so I can switch it around here, and I don't know how to do that. You can see over my shoulders a lot of green along my walk, and some of it is not really close to homes, and I've seen all these great spots that are kind of, they're within walking distance of houses and whatnot, but they're kind of off, they're kind of off the beaten path, so to speak, and they might be great spots to just take some seeds, whatever kind of seeds may or may not grow in your area, and just kind of plant them in a little spot and just mentally keep track, or maybe you got a spreadsheet or something of what you're growing. I'll give you an example. One of my favorite things is spaghetti squash. In fact, it's August 2017. I still have some that have not been cut open from fall 2016. They're just a hardy vegetable. I love them. Anyway, I've taken the seeds out of spaghetti squash and then just kind of done that. Found a spot along my walk, planted them, and spaghetti squash grows. And I don't have to do it. I'm not growing it in my backyard. It's just kind of in the neighborhood. Maybe it'll grow, maybe it won't. The point is, give it a whirl. Plant multiple things and see what grows kind of in your climate, and maybe you'll have something interesting grow up. The thing I like about it is, number one, I'm getting out exploring. Number two, it's pretty low cost barrier to entry. Just a handful of seeds, pennies, dimes, quarters maybe, and just get out, find a little spot in your neighborhood or off the beaten path and give it a go. As long as it's not going to be a species that people are going to flip out about, that's invasive or whatnot, but give it a go. And lastly, a public service announcement: when you're out and about in the sunshine, be sure to wear that SPF 30 plus. You can see I've got my hat, my shades on, but what's not covered, my ears. People get a lot of skin issues here because we don't generally put sunscreen there. Another thing, that bottom lip, keep that bottom lip covered.